YouTube? My name is Will. This is my Evo 8 RS. That is Enzo. Lotus. Oh, and that is Lotus. Today we're going to be talking about why are Evos worth more than STIs. Now I thought about making this all funny, making fun of Subaru people, but to be honest, there's some real reason behind this. And if truth be told, I like the STIs. I always have. In fact, before I was really into the Evos, when I didn't have like a personal preference, I thought the STIs back in the day looked a little bit better. The Evo from certain angles I thought definitely looked better, but overall I thought the STIs looked better. That said, I ultimately liked the Evo better once I drove them both, and as they say, the rest is history. Obviously they still make STIs, they don't make the Evos. So we're talking used markets here. Primarily, we're looking at the 8s and 9s, which is going to mean you're talking like the 04 to 07 STIs. So you're going to have the first ones in the US plus the Tribeca ones. And if you look online prices, generally speaking, now you can negotiate and different things. But if you just look up similar years, similar miles, overall condition, you will notice very quickly that Evos cost more. If you have two cars, an Evo and an STI, that are the same price, the Evo is going to have more miles or be rougher or something. There's going to be something about it that makes it clear that the STI is cheaper. So you might be asking yourself, well, why is this? If you're somebody like me who's a little bit older and was around when these cars were new, this answer may be a little bit more obvious. But if you're somebody who's younger, who, you knew what the cars were, but you weren't like actually in the weeds with them, may not be quite as obvious. They're both 4-cylinder turbo all-wheel drive Japanese rally cars. They were meant to compete against each other. Why is it that the Evo is worth more? I think there's more than one reason, to be honest. You could cite a few different things. The Evos always kind of had that more cult following than I think the STIs have. And I think that comes down to, while the Evo is based off the Lancer, the Evo doesn't look a lot like a Lancer. Nobody sees a Lancer go down the road and goes, oh, is that an Evo? No. But all the time people go, oh, is that an STI? No, it's just WRX. It's just an Impreza. Because they look very similar. And I think that's partly why the STI still lives and the Evo doesn't. But I also think that kind of elevates the Evo into being kind of its own separate thing. Also, Enzo. What is it, bud? Oh, DHL is here. I know, he's there. Come. You can just set it there. I know, I see him, bud. I see him. Heel. Sorry, DHL delivery got interrupted. So I think there's more than one reason. There's a very specific reason, and it doesn't have anything to do with cult followings or video games or anything really, other than one simple thing, and it's this: the 4G63. Why is that the defining factor of why Evos cost more? Well, why does Subarus cost so much money? Is it because Paul Walker drove them in the Fast and the Furious? Maybe. Might have something to do with it, but it's not the real reason. It's not the complete reason. Nobody who can afford a $100,000 Toyota Supra is buying them because Paul Walker drove it in the Fast and the Furious. In fact, those people are probably buying it in spite of the fact that it's in the Fast and the Furious movie, because let's be honest, I'm not knocking the movie, but that orange with it just didn't look good. Anyways, they buy it because of the 2JZ, because of what it can do, because it can do, in their eyes, anything, and that's what the 4G63 is. It's a motor that can do anything. I talked about this some in some other videos, but this is a motor that with bolt-ons can easily get 400 and 500 horsepower. And with a motor build, sky's the limit. I mean, 700, 800, 900 horsepower. It doesn't matter. I mean, dyno numbers don't mean a whole lot. What does mean something is the fact that you can get 7 seconds, 8 seconds, 9 seconds Evos. No problem. I realize you can do that with STIs and WRXs. You can do it with anything if you want to spend enough money and time and energy. It's how well you can do it and how well they handle it that makes the difference. There's only a handful of motors out there over time that, no matter how old they get, can still handle modern performance numbers. And this is one of them. We live in a world where the Camry has 300 horsepower. So buying a car that's 10, 15 years old with 300 horsepower really isn't that exciting. It's the potential that makes it exciting. You know, back in the day when these were new, 300 horsepower, 0 to 60, 4.5 seconds, those were pretty good numbers. I mean, those were phenomenal numbers, to be completely honest. They're not as impressive by today's standards. So whether you're going to mod it or not, in the back of your mind, there's always that, I can if I want to. If I want to. And with the STI, yeah, you can if you want to, but you got to really want it, because it's not as easy. And I'm sure some Subaru people are going to be like, no, you're crazy, whatever. No. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should, or that it's going to be anywhere near as easy as modifying an Evo. That's why, as time progresses and 300 horsepower becomes less and less of a high horsepower number, as a less and less high horsepower number, the STIs you will see bottom out and stay, or even maybe go lower, where the Evos will always maintain, if not go higher, because there's always that potential. Guys, I'm trying to shoot a video here. You can run, but do you have to bark? In 2025, when the Camry has 400 horsepower, it's still not going to be hard to get Evos up to those numbers. I'm not saying that your sole purpose is to beat a Camry, but you just got to understand that nobody wants a stock Supra. Nobody wants a stock Evo, really. It's the potential. It's what they can be that people want, and that's what they're not going to get out of an STI, and they know that, and that's why they cost less. So with that, and the fact that my camera is once again overheating today, we're going to go ahead and end this. Comment below. You can tell me how stupid I am. I don't care. That's fine. Like if you enjoyed it. Like if you didn't enjoy it. Subscribe for more Evo content, daily videos. And other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enzo? Guess he went inside. I'll see you guys tomorrow.